Okay, so today is October 28th, 2022, and we are sad.
Yeah.
Very sad. I'm very sad because I'm leaving Mauritius, and I don't want to go.
It's really been great.
It's been a great time. But if you're watching this video, thanks for clicking, hit the like button, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for supporting Backup Pack Out Bandits.
What? Bandits? But you're not really bandits, right?
Acti and I are going to give you some tips about coming to Mauritius if you choose to come. And we're recording this in 2022. So let's first start with the best three cities. The best three cities to visit in Mauritius. My top three are Grand Bay, Flick and Flack, and Mahaburg. I'm gonna say Grand Bay because everything is right there. It's the most touristic place, but it's also very fun and great beaches, great places to eat, great places to party too if you want to do that. So it's just like the basic essential stuff to have a good touristic time in Mauritius. That's my opinion. What do you think about Grand Bay?
I agree. Grand Bay is fun and it's lively and definitely a must if you come to Mauritius. I agree with the list. Okay. Those are also my three best cities.
Okay. The second one I think is Flick and Flack because Flick and Flack has a great beach as well. It's a bit more quieter than Grand Bay, but also near Flick and Flack you have several mountains for hiking. You also have Cascavel, which is the mall, and I believe there's also a nature resort there too. We didn't do the nature resort, but I've heard great things about it. It's also in a great location, so it's very dry there. So like it doesn't get a lot of rain. Also near it is Le Morne too, which makes it a great place.
And I think it might be a little bit more affordable than Grand Bay.
Oh, definitely. Grand Bay is by far the most expensive place to be in Mauritius. As far as I know, I don't think there's a place to really party in Flick and Flack if you're looking to do that.
I mean, we saw one place with live music.
Oh yeah, that's true.
But that's it, basically. That's the only place we saw.
Flick and Flack is more chill. And the third one, I would say, is Mahaburg, right? There's a good beach here called Blue Bay, right? In my opinion, I think Blue Bay is one of the top beaches here. Yeah. And also there's great, mountains here, particularly Lion Mountain. That has a special place in my heart.
Me too.
It was the first mountain we ever climbed. Yeah, I know Mahaburg is like so obvious, right? Because it's where the airport is. If you come to Mauritius, you are flying to Mahaburg, right? But it's a good place to stop. Not the only place to visit, but it's a good place to start.
If you're staying like for an extended period like us for 3 months, you should definitely come to Mahaburg, I would say. Good nature, like a nice little town center where you can find stuff.
Cheaper than Grand Bay.
Definitely.
Cheaper than Grand Bay. Now, one city to avoid. Let's give you one city to avoid. I'm gonna vote for, this might sound bad, but I'm gonna vote for a place called Albion, right? So we're backpacking across Mauritius and we just started going to several different places and spaces.
Random places.
Yeah, random places, right? And we ended up in this place called Albion, which is not bad, but I just didn't like their beach because there's just a lot of seaweed and rocks at the beach and it's very shallow too. And there's not much to do in that place. But it was good to see. I'm not trying to hate on the city, but if you're gonna travel, you can skip over Albion. What's your place you would vote for?
My place is Highlands. Highlands was one of the last stops that we did, and it's like in the middle of the country, so you don't have the beach by your side, and it was also like, I don't know, it was just like, the only good thing about it was that you can access the other parts of the country easily-ish, but there was basically nothing to do there except from going to the mall. But I would suggest if you really want to stay in the middle of the country, I would prefer Curepeep over Highlands. Yeah. I mean, just overall, if you want to pick somewhere I would pick somewhere by the beach.
All right, let's look at best 3 things to do. Best 3 things to do. My top 3 things, right? I think the hike at La Pouce. There's the 3rd highest mountain in Mauritius is called La Pouce. It's a great, not that difficult hike to the top. I believe it's about close to 800 meters or so. Great, spectacular view. And then on the other end, you can see the main city of Mauritius, which is Port Louis. And you can actually walk down into Port Louis and then go have a beer or something at the waterfront. Great thing to do. I also suggest this place, Hidden Gem, Eureka Mansions and Falls. So there's like this old historical Victorian French colonial house, whatever, near this town called Mocha. And also behind the house in this valley, there's like 4 waterfalls, and you can jump in one of the waterfalls. I don't know if they want you to, but you can, and you should, because it's fun. And they give you a tour of the place. You can have coffee there at the historical mansion and go into the park behind it. It's great. Another thing that I suggest, I think partying in Grand Bay is something you should do, right?
Really?
Yeah.
La Cuvée?
Oh, well, Grand Bay in general has great beaches, right? That's hard to say. Because you can party and have fun in Grand Bay, and who's to say the party can't end up at the beach?
Okay.
You could party and then end up going to the beach. But La Cuvette in Grand Bay is my favorite beach here. That's mine. Those are my top 3. Those are my top 3.
Well, let's see. My top 3 is, I love La Cuvée, but also I think Montchoisy. It's a very long beach near Grand Bay. It's just a very, wide space, and they have like a little foresty park thing going on the back, and it's just very chill. And if you are close to where the action is, you'll hear some Mauritian music, like Sega music. And also there are some food trucks and stuff. So yeah, I think that's one of the beaches that you can spend the whole day in and have great time. My second one, Black River Gorges. It's a huge national park where you have I think around 5 trails.
Yeah,
yes?
There's so many trails. You can get lost in there.
Yeah, so there we did 2 of the trails. One of them was Maccabee Trail, which goes down to a gorge.
Yeah,
right?
It goes down the gorge into the valley.
Yeah, and then we also did the highest mountain trail there. And also you have the Grand Basin Temple near the entrance, which is a very big Hindu temple. And you can see all the different statues of the gods and just smell the incense and all of that. It was a very nice experience for me. The only problem is that there are no public transportations there. Yeah. So you would have to either walk, hitchhike, or rent a car or something, or go with a taxi.
Yes. No
we'll talk about that.
Go ahead. What's your third one?
My third place, I was gonna say something else, but I changed my mind.
Go ahead.
I want to say Le Morne.
Ooh, okay.
It's the most popular mountain, and I get the hype, to be honest, because the view for me was after Lion Mountain, because that has a special place. But after Lion Mountain, I think it had the prettiest view, because you could see the ocean and I think the underwater waterfall. I think we saw it. I couldn't exactly locate it, but it was just pretty. It was just all gorgeousness.
It was.
So, and it's not a super long hike. The last part is a bit challenging, but it's nothing that you can't do if you trust your physical abilities. I did it. I mean, I'm not super fit, so. And also in the bottom of the mountain, you have this museum, African Heritage Museum, something like that. That is dedicated to the Maroons that were living in the mountain or around the mountain to, escape slavery in Mauritius. And I think that was also a beautiful addition to the whole experience of climbing the mountain, because you learn about the history of the mountain and the country. All right,
so the one thing we avoid We agree on this.
Yeah.
Chamarel. Oh gosh. I don't know who you want to go first.
Yeah. So I wanted to go to Chamarel because I looked at the pictures and it looked like different. I looked at it and I thought it was bigger, to be honest. So and then we take the bus. And
That's what she always said.
Anyway, we took the bus to the middle of nowhere. We hitchhiked like 5 times to get there. Finally, when we were at the gate, the tickets were 500 rupees per person. And we were supposed to get it in the entrance, but nobody asked us about anything. So we had a little problem there. And then after everything, we went in, but it was just like a very like small place where you just saw like some red, purple, and green like dirt. Like I get that it's like some type of geographical volcanic thing.
Yeah.
And it is interesting, but I just don't think it's worth the trip or the fee in general. We also did see giant turtles. So that was cooler than the whole dirt thing.
Yeah, and the turtles move. I would just say our experience going to Chamarel, everything she said. The thing is, the journey getting to Chamarel was more exciting than actually seeing Chamarel. So maybe that's why our experience wasn't so great. When you see the picture of Chamarel, it's much different than being there in real life. It's one of the few things that looks better in pictures, right?
It's an Instagram thirst trap.
It's an Instagram catfish.
Yeah.
You're not missing anything. There's much cooler stuff to do in Mauritius that's for free. 2 things to be careful of. I'll say this, that the taxi drivers, man. The taxi drivers generally do not have meters. Every other place in the world has taxi drivers with meters. Here in Mauritius is unheard of. They say whatever price comes to mind, and they look you up and down and assume how much money you have.
Even if you're gonna get a taxi, just ask the price first and don't go in without getting the price.
Another thing to be careful of, here in Mauritius, they speak French and French Creole and then English. English is like the 3rd language, but nobody really speaks it all day. In Mauritius, generally, I would say 80 to 90% of the people speak English fairly well, but older people have trouble with it and struggle with it. So just watch out for that, at least, you know. You will get by, but there's still, some people who don't have it.
My thing is about the houses, or just in general, internet can be unstable. It can like go down sometimes and then 5 minutes later it's back to normal. I think that's like the general internet in the island and not because of like your particular router or anything like that. Sometimes the water can go out, but it will come back. Plus with the water, some houses only have like solar heaters, so after like, 8 at night, you won't have hot water.
There was one house, when we were staying in Grand Bay, the hot water cut off at like 10, something like that. I would also say generally in Mauritius, like the stuff that you need, like Wi-Fi and stuff, it might be good to take care of that on your own, get it yourself when you come here, but we're gonna talk about that more. Food. As you see on our channel, we ate a lot of food here in Mauritius, boy, a lot of food. Now, I want to talk about this. We cook at home and we also eat out. I would say cooking at home in Mauritius, if you're staying here for some time, might not be the thing to do, right? Because I feel like it's more expensive shopping at the grocery store than actually eating out.
Just to be clear, by eating out, we don't mean any fancy restaurant.
Yeah.
We mean like street food or like,
small restaurants,
boutique, like cafes.
Let's talk about the best 3 foods we ate here, if you can remember. Okay?
Okay.
I'll try this. I'm gonna go. So here in Mauritius, they have this fish called marlin, right? And I've never had marlin before coming here, but marlin is fairly cheap, and in many places you can get it in a sandwich and like a panini or something. So if you come here in Mauritius, I suggest going to like your local cafe or whatever and ordering a marlin panini. Also here in Mauritius, because of their Indian influence and Chinese influence, there's a lot of like Asian food here. And one of the best things I ever ate was like this fish curry in Grand Bay, right, from a food truck. That was magnifique. It was great. I would also suggest, this might sound weird, but man, there's this chicken sandwich place, boy. there's a chicken sandwich.
Are you talking about Gloria's?
Well, Gloria's in Grand Bay has some good fast food. Gloria's is a local fast food chain here in Mauritius. You can go there and get a lot of food fairly cheap. It's good. It's good stuff. But I was going to talk about this place in Mahaburg. Cheeky's Hut here in Mahaburg has a great chicken sandwich.
The food that I recommend is definitely samosa. Because, you know, it's a street food. You can get it at the vendors on the street and it's pretty cheap and it's a good snack. Some of them have veggies inside, some of them have chicken, some have potatoes. You can get any kind you want. Definitely do fish burgers. Like Simon said, Gloria's has a magnificent fish burger.
That doesn't even sound right.
A perfect fish burger. Anyway, and definitely fried noodle and fried rice.
And dal puri.
Oh.
You have to eat some dal.
And roti.
And some rotis. So yeah, here in Mauritius, at least talking about food and prices and stuff like that, you know, eating out can get pricey. As of recording this right now, 100 rupees, Mauritian rupees, is $2 US. And to eat out at like a decent place, right, is about 600 rupees. So times that, that's about $12 or $14, right? Shopping at the grocery store, you could easily buy, when buying things like tomatoes, onions, bread, cheese, milk, eggs, right? You could easily spend 1,000 rupees or more. So that's starting like at $20. Just in general, the rule always in traveling is never buy anything where you cannot see the price beforehand. Never ask the price. You always see the price in front of you, right? Okay. All right, anyway, housing, talking about housing. So we've stayed in Mahaburg, then like Grand Bay, and then Flick and Flack, and then Albion, then Bellon, the Highlands,
and then Balaclava, and then here.
We stayed in eight different places. We stayed in 8 different places in 7 cities in Mauritius, right? I'll say generally in the housing here in Mauritius is of good quality, right? Here, the beds are comfortable. When you go and rent a place, it's clean, generally, right? I feel like if you're paying anything more than $20 a night, you're gonna be in a decent place, right? And that's for Airbnb, booking, hotel, travel agents, whatever, however you get it.
And
right?
if you watch our videos, some of the houses and places that we stayed in, we got the footage in there and you can see what they look like.
Yeah, and I have no really complaints about the houses here in Mauritius. They're like most houses in the world. You know, the AC units are detached, so there's no central AC. This is for all the American viewers, right? It's not like America, buddy. It's not like in America we have central AC, so like there's no AC unit. It's in the wall.
I get it.
All right. Anyway, I would also think maybe in Mauritius they want you to take your shoes off when you enter the house. If you're paying a good amount, you're gonna get a good quality apartment, right? And we didn't stay in any fancy resorts. We just stayed in apartments and stuff like that.
So, also one thing about while you're staying in an apartment or even in a hotel room, you might see some animals.
When we first came to Mauritius that first week, we were living in a roach-infested hotel.
Yeah, I think they were like renovating it, and then they fixed it afterwards. We requested a new room, and it was okay. We got a spray, so buy a spray for like roaches.
Here in Mauritius, there's a lot of little lizards. They're usually
or big ones.
Yeah, but the little ones usually come into your house. They're like tan colored, like, you know, kind of like pinkish, right? And they just stay in the corner. They run away from you. We did have one big green one that came into our house in Grand Bay. They're not poisonous. They don't bite. They don't hurt anybody. But they don't do anything good either. It's not like they eat the roaches, as far as we see. The only thing I've seen the lizard do is eat another lizard's tail.
And the one in Grand Bay also pooped.
Yeah.
In our kitchen.
If you're gonna stay here in Mauritius for some time, coming in between August and October, because I felt like the weather was generally good.
Maybe September and October, because August, when we first came, we did experience a little rain.
That's true.
So I would say September or like just October or November. I think that those would be the best months, like hot weather, not too hot.
The temperature generally during the day would be about 25 degrees, right? And at night it would maybe hit like 18, 19. Solo female travelers.
In Mauritius, generally, when I'm outside without Simon, I do get catcalled and or like looked at. So if you're coming as a solo female traveler, I would suggest for you to prepare yourself for that, because unfortunately you cannot change that. For one time in Albion, when I was walking outside, a police car stopped and told me to go back to my apartment. So I would think I didn't go out like super late at night by myself. So if you're gonna be here solo, I would suggest for you to not go outside late at night. I'm talking about like after 10. Everything kind of closes after like 8-ish. So it's kind of very secluded, and you know, you might get scared a little bit. Other than that, I did experience like 2 things. One of them was like I was just coming from the shop, and it was like after sundown, so it was a bit dark. And then some guy just grabbed my arm, but then I just kind of like yanked my arm back, and then just very quickly walked, and nothing happened. Like he didn't come after me or anything. I don't know, like he was just with his friends. He was probably like trying to tease me or something like that. So yeah, that happened. And also when we were at a house party, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Somebody grabbed my butt, and I didn't tell Simon because I didn't want to start a fight.
Because you know I'm gonna kill him.
Yeah. I don't feel like in danger in general. I want to say that because now that I talked about these stuff, it kind of sounds scary. But I think like those things happened to me in Turkey as well. I just want to make that clear. And I also traveled to Europe, and there were times when I felt not safe late at night walking in Paris, walking in Barcelona or whatever. I haven't felt any uncomfortableness regarding my, dress code. Even if I've had my tits out or my, butt cheeks showing, I didn't feel a particular way of, reaction just because of of the way I dress. So that was comfortable.
So it's like basically you were gonna get catcalled whether you wore something revealing or didn't, right? You don't feel like it was because of what you were wearing why they were catcalling.
Yeah.
You feel like it was just because woman.
Yeah,
like
yeah. I mean, probably if I did dress in general more conservatively, I would get less catcalled, but you would still get catcalled. And especially like if you are a lighter color skin lady, it's obvious that you are a foreigner because the most people here are either African descendant or Indian descendant. So and maybe they see you as someone to flirt with for a short time or something like that. They try to holler at you. They say like bonjour madam and stuff like that. They don't like come and grab your butt or something. So they say like hi, and if you just ignore them, they go away.
Right. And for anybody in the comments, maybe you're gonna attack her, don't attack her, because she's a woman. She knows what it's like to be a woman. All of you idiots on the computer, shut the F up. I'll just say this to the guys. I can see a lot of thirsty guys here in Mauritius. That's all I see. So I as a man, I know when a guy is thirsty. Just chill. I know my wife is beautiful. Thank you for the compliment. But get your own, buddy. Get your own. All right, so I guess we'll finish this up with useful tips for Mauritius. My useful tip is take the bus, because the bus goes pretty much everywhere except, of course, Black River Gorges, right? That's probably the only big thing. I'm gonna steal you one of yours. Hitchhiking.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm gonna steal that, yeah.
I even hitchhiked alone without Simon, and it was okay. I did it one time, but...
I thought you did it twice.
Yeah, I mean, back and forth.
Yeah.
I did it 2 times, but it was like safe for me. I felt safe. I didn't feel like any type of threat, so... And it's fun.
Yeah. My third tip is like talk to the Mauritian people because they're generally cool, generally very friendly, very easygoing. They love to help. I hate when YouTubers or anybody who travels says the people are so nice. They are so nice. As if you expected people to be like savages across the world. Of course they're nice, right? But
don't be afraid to ask for help
Yeah.
and ask directions, ask, anything. Because we met a lot of great people in Mauritius and, they've offered us great things.
Yeah. Another useful tip for Mauritius is honestly, I don't know why. Maybe there's some extra benefit, but staying at the big resorts is a waste because the people at the resorts literally go to the same beaches, right? That's my other thing. If you're gonna stay at the resort, maybe they got something special inside, maybe there are more amenities, I don't know. But I feel like you can have an equally amount of good time in Mauritius and you're not a millionaire or not 100,000-aire. You don't have to be rich to come to Mauritius. That's probably a big misconception. People think this is too exclusive, too hard to get to. It's not.
And also, like, in Mauritius, you can go to the resort beaches and swim there, even if you're not staying there. We did that in a couple of places, and I would say, like, the resort beaches are not that good.
The public beaches are better than the resort
they are
beaches.
better. Like, they have less weed, they have, like, more, like, whiter sand and stuff like that. Like, I don't know. Okay, so my useful tips is first, bring a plug converter with you. If you have a lot of devices, bring two, because the plugs are different here.
What are you doing?
It's the Simon Show. It's the Simon Show.
Okay, so
It's the...
these things, we got these at the supermarket, and it says that here they're 38 rupees, which is pretty cheap.
Very cheap.
Very cheap, yeah. It's less than $1. So, and these been very helpful. So the plugs here look like this. And yeah, so this one has like all the other kinds. So I would definitely invest in these. For the internet, if internet is very important for you, if you're a content creator, if you're working online, I would suggest to get a SIM card from MTEL, and they have a package that is 15 rupees per day, unlimited data. So
get one of these.
Or one of these.
Get one of these portable Wi-Fi boxes.
Yeah, and you can put a SIM card inside this one and get the package.
Anyway, one more thing about Mauritius, and this will probably be the last thing I have to say. There's bats. There's a lot of bats. They're like the national bird of Mauritius. Just flapping around.
Big ones.
Big, huge bats, like Batman. Like literally, these bats should pay taxes. And yeah, they don't mess with you, and they're pretty freaky at night. They come out at night and just dominate the skies. But yeah, they're okay. There's also wild monkeys here, and if you spot one, you need to catch it like a Pokemon. As a honeymoon destination, as a place to explore, as a place to learn about yourself, as a place to appreciate nature and beauty and other cultures, and to take it easy in life, I definitely give Mauritius a 9 out of 10. This is one of the best trips I've ever had, one of the best places I've ever visited. Definitely hope to come back. Thankful for every single day I got to be here. Thankful I got to spend it with my beautiful wife as we start our life together. And I wouldn't trade anything. And I've learned more about myself while being here. That's one of the great things about it. So definitely suggest Mauritius for anybody to travel to. Definitely come see.
I'll also give it a 9 out of 10. It was great being here. It was a beautiful experience. People are nice. And I'm not just saying that to say it. People are actually very nice and very helpful. The food was great. And I think in Mauritius, there's something for everybody. If you are like the sports type, you can, have a great holiday in Mauritius. If you are the Instagram girl, you can have a great holiday in Mauritius because it has beautiful views and, beaches and whatnot.
Get your sugar daddy to fly you out.
Yeah. If you are like that luxurious, I'm gonna get drunk on the beach type of person, you have all the resorts that you can get here. If you are budget travelers like us, and content creators, there's a lot of great content here, and also like just a lot of great budget things to do around, a lot of things to do for free. The only thing that keeps this place from being a 10 is that maybe it's a little bit far away. And also sometimes you might have problems with the amenities, but just in general, it was perfect.
In fact, the literal only reason that I'm not giving it a 10 is that I feel like Black River Gorgeous needs a bus. Because I feel like you have this big, beautiful park and you make it so hard to access. Now, I know you want the tourists to come and spend money on taxis and private cars and stuff, but not everybody's gonna do that. Not everybody wants to do that. That's the only thing. But other than that, really great place. So thank you, Mauritius.
Thank you.
So I think this went on long, but I hope you enjoyed our video. Thanks for clicking this. We are the Backpack Bandits, and peace.
Bye.